Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Shifting Lanes. My name's Chad. We're back in the shop today, but I think we're missing something, man, because that ain't a C30. It's a pretty cool pickup truck with the 350 getting a new exhaust, but very much not a C30. So where the heck is the C30? Well, obviously, this is the space usually occupied by the C30. There's a big-ass backhoe in the way. Today we got to go do a couple things, last minute shopping, get the Mustang cleaned up, get some other stuff done. Then we're going to get this mamma jamma out of here, get the C30 in, and then we're going to figure out what the heck's wrong with her. I just want to take a second, thank each and every one of you who dropped me a line, gave me a suggestion. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys trying to help out with the build. You know, you don't necessarily have to drop a line and tell me what's going on, but you guys, the guys who did, thank you so much, because we're all family here, all part of the big Volvo family. Don't mean to get all kumbaya and stuff, but thank you guys. It actually means a lot that you took time out of your day to try to help me with my car. But some of the suggestions were a bad CV joint, gravel between the dust shield and the brake rotor, bad motor mounts, bad control arm, issues with the steering rack or the tie rod, poorly fitting bumper was actually one of the suggestions, something I had never thought about, but when you kind of think about it, it might possibly be the cause. Who knows? And obviously not the youngest car in the world. See, we had snow. Look at all that. Oh, I did not take her four-wheeling or off-road. It may look like that, but we definitely didn't take her off-road. What we did do was, well, she was parked over there and there was obviously more snow and I had to get her out of there, which, let's just say, ended up being like a 9 million point turn, and I don't exactly have, I have the wrong tires on the car. We need to get those off, but we have some errands. We're gonna take the Mustang, we're gonna get to the C30, because, well, frankly, the issue is way worse. You guys were awesome submitting all of your suggestions, but the problem, you were all wrong. The problem is much worse than we thought. You guys want a cold start, right? I mean, badass 500 horsepower American V8. Yeah, you guys want a cold start. Let's get you a cold start. Come on, guys. Even the most hardened, hardcore ride or die Volvoist has to admit that is a glorious noise. I mean, come on, American V8, 500 horsepower, come on, let's go. But today isn't about the Mustang. I mean, she might sound sweet, but today isn't about her. Today is about the C30. So, like I said, this is a really bad problem, but it's not, I may have overreacted a little bit, it's not going to quote unquote kill the build. However, it is definitely something we need to address before we do anything else, and that includes making the C30 even faster than she already is. Now, if you want to help make the C30 faster, or you love Greg's V70R, or you love Hanson's car, or you just like Shifting Lanes in general, then head on over to our Teespring page, link down below me. Everything from a generic Shifting Lanes shirt to C30 swag to P2 swag, S60R, V70R, to our awesome one-of-a-kind Hellwinkle shirts. And the best part is every dime you spend on merch, we put right back into creating content for you guys. So you get an awesome shirt, you help make the C30 faster, you help Greg's car get a new clutch, all that sort of fun stuff, and you get some really awesome gear to go along with it. All right, so we have the Mustang fueled up, last minute Christmas shopping done, got my Red Bull, and what else? Oh, we cleaned the Mustang. So oh boy, man, the Mustang brakes are so good. Just heard, I tried to mom arm them, Mustang brakes were just way too good. So we're actually on our way up the driveway to the shop. Gonna get that backhoe out of the way. Gonna get the C30 in, and we're gonna go over the issue, what our plan is to fix it, and I think we're gonna talk about some upgrades maybe. Let's get in the show. We finally, after all that, got the C30 into the shop. She's not quite up on the jack yet because, well, the problem becomes obvious once it's pointed out. It's one of those things where it's duh. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm a little embarrassed I didn't notice this sooner, especially once we lowered her. So let's look at this wheel. Pay real close attention to right about there. And if we come around to the other side, look right about there. Go back to the other side. So if it isn't obvious at this point, I'll throw up them side by side, give you a better idea of what exactly we're looking at. But the issue on this side, remember, we're having wheel rub, all sorts of bad things here. The caster is off. And what I mean by caster is if you take the center point of the wheel, it's too far forward here by about 1/2 of an inch. And so if you think about it, camber is how the wheel is like this. Your toe is like this. Caster is how forward or back in the wheel well the actual wheel itself sits. So this being too far forward, I didn't notice. I honestly didn't notice until the man, the myth, the legend himself, Rich Forsyth, used about 60 seconds of YouTube footage to point out that we got a caster issue going on. Our first thought was a lower control arm, but let's get her in the air, let's get the wheel off, and I'll show you what's really going on because, well, it's not as simple as a control arm. All right, so we have the wheel off again. I don't know, I've lost count, but at any rate, so if we come down and look, there's our lower control arm, or actually control arm, since duh, there's no upper. That's our control arm. It's actually fine. To find our problem, we have to go back here where it mounts the subframe. Now it's hard, really hard to tell, but it's not supposed to be like that up there. This is confirmation, and I'll explain more when I get out, but the long and short of it is our subframe's tweaked, which is, yay, so much fun. Back when we first got the car, we thought we had a little bit of a front impact on the passenger side. This is the final confirmation of that. We all kind of figured that the C30 was in an accident at some point in its previous life. We kind of figured on that because, well, you can't really see in this light, but these are two slightly different colors of gray, and so on and so forth. But now we kind of have an idea on what that accident was. And what that accident was is that something hit this car coming in this direction and also at that angle, and hit it and moved it, everything forward that way. And someone took the easy way out when it comes to the repair, and that's why we're in the situation we are with having to replace the subframe. So before we do anything else, like limited slips, more power, etc., we have to get in there and we have to figure and get that fixed. So that's a bit of a project. We are going to try to tackle it ourselves, but it is a bit of a process, especially on jack stands when you don't have a nice friendly lift in front of you. So yeah, luckily it looks like it's supposed to be a relatively simple fix. It's supposed to be a relatively inexpensive fix, which is good because obviously more power mods, all that other stuff costs a lot of money. So this isn't derailing the project. It's just, again, pushing back, finishing it, because why would you ever want to finish a project car, right? Next time we see the C30 in the shop, we're going to tackle the subframe. Then, like I said, we're hopefully going to get an limited slip diff, new clutch, new flywheel at some point in her. And that way, we can make a little bit more power with her. I don't know about you guys, but a little bit more power is never a bad thing. So we're going to be tackling some other videos, some real cool tech stuff, probably some videos on mods you should do, mods you shouldn't do, how you should order those mods, etc., etc. And then we're going to dive into making her the awesome beast that she can be. So new subframe, probably new control arms on all, new bushings, get her really set up so that basically all the stuff we throw at her is good to go. But as for this one, guys, that's pretty much a wrap. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give us a little thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said before, head on down, get yourself some awesome Shifting Lanes swag. If you want to follow us on social media, it's at Shifting Lanes. I personally am at Chenedy83. Hit us up there. I love taking the conversation in more detail outside of the YouTube comments. It's one of the perks of doing this sort of thing. But yeah, it's a good time for everyone. But the C30, once again, throws a curveball at us. But that's a wrap for this one, guys. I'll catch you next time.